Inland radar images from a marine vehicle have confirmed the presence of several unknown objects. 3 people who judged having seen UFOs resigned in a historic meeting today on Capitol Hill. Disgusting sightings of unidentified flying objects or UFOs have been reported throughout history. They've staged debates, triggered alarms, and indulged the imaginations of millions. Some encounters stand out, though, in their appearance and the heavy weight of the evidence they present. Such a case is the Phoenix Lighter, a sight from the year 1997, which still moves those who follow the truth about possible visitors to our universe. 1. The Phoenix Lights, 1997. On May 13, 1997, thousands of residents in Phoenix, Arizona and the upside-down areas observed an abnormal falling of lights that appeared in the night walked in the air. The event, later dubbed Phoenix Lights, remains one of the most highly reviewed and best documented UFO sightings in history. The mysterious lights were in the form of 2 primary events. The first event was a triangular formation of lights. The whites judged how they passed over the Bundesstaat. The second was a row of stationary lights that swept across the Phoenix. Both events made a remarkable impression on the show lights and resolved a long-standing debate about the origins and nature of the lights. It was reported that the triangular formation moved without sound. They held a perfect formation sincerely and crossed the air at an even speed. The second group of lights sing for several minutes without said movement before disappearing. These descriptions don't exactly fit the profile of aircraft or airborne missiles. Even more interesting evidence is the diversity of the whites of the eyes, which ranged from simple residents to experienced pilots to the future governor of Arizona, 5 Symington. The governor later admitted to seeing the object and said it was of foreign origin. Multiple videos recorded of residents during the event provide visual evidence of the lights. Although the video material has undergone multiple analyses, it still does not provide definitive proof for the origin of light. The video evidence spends but the statements of the eyes whites, descriptions about the development, the movements, and the changing of the lights. The visibility of the Phoenix Lights is not only because of its size and the amount of whites judged, but also because of number 2, the Belgian UFO well, 1999. The Belgian UFO well, which lasted from November '89 to April 1990, is, because of its duration, one of the most important periods in UFO history. The amount of whitening and the quality of the views. Over several months, approximately 135,500 people across Belgium report that they have seen large, noiseless and deep-flying black triangles, which led to intense national and international attention to these phenomena. The first notable event was on November 29, 1989, when 2 local police officers on the street, an unusual triangular object with bright lights at each corner and a red light in the middle. The object moved slowly and silently across the landscape before suddenly closing and disappearing from view. Comparative views were carried out in the evening from different places, an image of an object that moved across the Belgian landscape. The views were not limited to visual assessments. On May 30, 1990, one of the most striking features of the Belgian UFO well. An unidentified object is placed from 2 NATO radar sites on which 2 F-16 fighter jets are assigned to capture the UFOs in the mission used to go. The F-16's native radar systems located the object several times, but then the UFO's altitude and speed changed dramatically to relax the persecution. The UFO's maneuvers were so abrupt that they developed the known knowledge of the physical, which led to speculation about the origin of the object led. These visual radar facilities gave the sightings another credibility. It wasn't just people on the ground who saw these objects, but there were also electronic systems that tracked them, and the possible misidentification of natural or man-made objects was explored. The dating also changed the explanation of mass hysteria or hallucinations, because radar systems are immune to such psychological factors. The triangular objects that were spotted during the Belgian UFO well remain unexplained until now. Theories were explained that range from secret military aircraft about atmospheric phenomena to foreign space vehicles, but none of these theories explain the whole stories that the UFO showed in the future with the F-16. The Belgian UFO well presents a unique period in UFO history, during which the world's most famous UFOs were discovered. A large number of people, tracked by radar and military data, viewed an unidentified aircraft phenomenon. The complexity of the site, and the fact that there is a statement, make the Belgian UFO well still an important convention in discussions about UFOs and possibilities for the future. 3. Rendlesham Desert UFO cases, 1980. Among so many UFO sightings in history, the Rendlesham Forest UFO case, based on its conclusive testing and physical evidence, and the trusted high-ranking military personnel. This UFO incident, often referred to as the British Roswell, occurred in late December 1980 at the RAF waypoints Bandwaters and Woodbridge in Suffolk, England. In the early hours of December 26, the UFO incidents of 1980 arrived. Monitored American UFOs, which were stationed at the RAF waypoints Bandwaters and Woodbridge, observed unusual light, which were in the Rendlesham Forest nearby. They mistook it for a locked plane and sent a team to investigate. When they reached the construction site, they sent a small inconvenience, a triangular metal plane. According to reports, the space plane was beeping and had hieroglyphic markings on the side. One of the officers, Sergeant Jim Pennison, reported that they viewed the aircraft and documented it in detail before it abruptly moved over the construction line and shot off the plane at high speed. A later investigation of the site established 3 floors on the ground, which rested on a triangular plane, and assessed elevated radiation levels, which led to the encounter lost even more faith. 2 nights later, on December 28th, the object was returned. The base's treading commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt, led a team into the woods to investigate the original plane. During their investigation, they saw an unknown object in the sky, emitting beams of light. Holt painted his comments on an audio cassette and thus reported the events in real time. The recording, known as the stop tape, works as an important test piece and clearly shows the surprise and confusion of the soldiers. Interestingly, the British Defence Ministry relied on the comment that the event was not judged to be a hoax for national security and was therefore never thoroughly investigated. Anyway, many documents and tests found over the years prove that the meeting of the soldiers involved was taken seriously, which raised questions about the official position. Whether the event was an actual encounter with foreigners or a product of the tensions of the Cold War and covert military operations is still wondering. The Rendlesham Desert incident remains one of the strongest and most difficult UFO encounters, especially because of the impressive amount of military developments and the useful evidence, all of which explains an event that defies conventional explanations. Number 4. Roswell interruption, 47 years. Few UFO interruptions have enthralled the public so much and sparked so many debates as the Roswell interruption in the years 1927 to 1947. The incident, which probably involved the waste and salvaging of a foreign spaceship, went near Roswell, New Mexico, remains a seminal moment in UFO history, especially because of the responsible stories and theories that have emerged over time. In early July 1947, rancher W.W. McBrazel discovered a large field of unusual drums on his property. The materials were described as light, yet incredibly strong, and at the same time had strange symbols. The Roswell Army Airfield, the RAF, was alerted, and the equipment was quickly collected from soldiers. The RAF announced on Eid in July a press tour that they had recovered a flying disc, a comment that was reported in the national press for regard. Anyway, the U.S. military quickly reversed the explanation and told that it was not a flying disc, but a misidentified one. Weather balloon. The material involved only the remains of a radar reflector from a Mogul balloon project, a top-secret program for the discovery of Soviet atom testing. In 1994, in response to the greatest pressure, the RAF released the Roswell Report, Fact versus Fiction in the New Mexico Desert.